Morning everyone, so we're in Ringøy campsite. So the campsite itself is located on the shores of Furuly. So my tent is actually pitched at the side of the fjord, which is really cool. And then coming down here you've got a little pier, which I imagine in the summer you could swim off. There it is. And there's a little rowing boat you can hire as well. This is actually quite rare for a campsite in that it allows you to make fires. Actually encourages you, because there's a huge wood store there, and included in the price you can have as much wood as you like. I did have a small fire yesterday, but unfortunately it started raining, so fires were off. For a tent, 280 krona with 2 persons. For 1 person it's 240. Motorhome caravan, 340 krona, and then for each additional thing you want to add on, electricity for example is 60 krona, the shower is 30 krona, and you can rent the rowing boat for 50, for example. But yeah, so it's actually quite an inexpensive way to travel and stay around Norway. And these little campsites are located, every 5 kilometers, except on some of the high mountain passes. To show you the back of the campsite, obviously there's loads of room for pictures. Hey mister. So the rain has just stopped and it's actually forecast to be sunny again later today. So what I've done is dried the tent off, fingers crossed it won't rain anymore, and then I'll head out and make as much progress as I can. So I'm starting to enter some of the bigger fjords this afternoon when the sun is shining. That's where the good news about the weather ends, however, because the weather is due to get a lot colder, and I mean like a drop of 7 or 8 degrees, particularly as I go further north. So I might have to change the plan around a little bit, do some big miles today, get to Gold, or at least close to it today, and then spend a couple of days there, which might be in a hotel or one of the little huts you can hire, depending on how cold it is and how wet it is. And then we'll do a burn and turn, then we'll do a turn and burn and head south, and then try and get some of the warmer weather so I can camp for the last few days in one of the southern fjords before catching the ferry. So slight alteration to the plan because I don't want to get caught out in the snow, and there's a lot of high mountain plains up here, and if it's going to be below freezing, obviously the snow might come down and might get shut. So yeah, welcome to May in Norway. It's definitely keeping us on the edge. We're heading towards Lom. We are, I think, about 50 kilometers from Lom. I've got an intermediary stop, which is Oscar Schaug, I think. The other thing I noticed when I stopped earlier is we've got a slight oil leak. Kind of a really minor one. A little weep of oil that's coming out. And we're on 7,375 miles. So either there's just a gasket there that needs replacing, or I've knocked something when I got the bike stuck in the mud. Now there's not much I can do about that really at this time and this place in the trip. We're not that much further away from the furthest we could possibly be from home, and no mechanic out here is going to be able to get any parts for this. I don't even know if they're distributed in this country, so it'll just have to be buy some oil. I've got the guidebook, so I'll look at what the oil is and then top it up if I have to, and just fingers crossed doesn't get any worse. Some of the road up until now has been really almost mathematically designed sweeping curves, absolutely perfect, but this sort of stuff I don't actually enjoy as much. It takes a heck of a lot of concentration. There's a big drop down there. I've got all this luggage on, so if I don't talk for a few minutes, that's because I'm focused. Where most of the main roads are 80. I don't think I've been on the road for the last 3 days that isn't 80 kph. So that's its sweet spot really. It's returning 3.2 litres per 100 kilometres. Something stupid like that. I think that's 80 miles per gallon odd. The ferry's great as well. It does say in the guidebook, take the ferry wherever possible, because you get to see a different view of the fjord. And the ferry is crazy really, because when it sets off you don't even know it's moving. Normally when you get on a boat you feel a bit of vibration from the engine, or you feel like a little sort of shunt as it moves off from the dock. Nothing. Had to look at a fixed point on the land to realise that it was actually going anywhere. And I think because the fjord is so calm, and they designed this boat probably with a really flat hull, so it just sort of sits on the water with a huge carrying capacity to carry trucks and all sorts of vehicles. There you go, Lom, 66 kilometres. So didn't even notice it. It was crazy. Look at that bank of snow, that is absolutely crazy. Is it compacted? Whoa. It's like 6 feet of snow. Never seen anything like it. People very rightly taking photos. What would be mental is to go and have a dip in that, wouldn't it? I am kind of half tempted to do it. What time is it? That is like nothing I've ever seen, is it? Got a lake. No one behind me. Oh, there's a little spot, but it's not really safe to stop because we're on such a incline. No, I think I'll have to wait to a designated lay-by, which is safer because I'm not going to risk everything and, you know, tip the bike over on unsafe ground. I'm getting cold now, and I've layered up profusely today in the knowledge that this was coming. What's this little park spot here? Yeah, this might do it. Yeah, it's hard enough. Uneven but hard. Oh, hard but slippy with the gravel. Okay, let's do some camera work, guys. Bear with me. Keep these two running, I think. Is that going to rest there? Yeah. Yeah, you're alright. Right, you'll see what happens now. So we set up the cameras. Or one camera. This isn't Top Gear. Yeah, there's that oil dripping that I talked about earlier. So, get this Joby tripod. And I've become quite good at quickly deploying it with practice. But it's a nice piece of kit. Okay, so you get that on level ground best you can. Flip this boy open. I put it on a little metal cable so I can let it dangle. And then install this here. This is what every YouTuber does who does it solo. Okay, now I've got to choose which lens to use. The wide angle, which is that one, which I probably will use in this case just because the snow is so crazy. Adjust that a little bit. Autofocus. Get that recording right, and then I'll go and ride past. I'll ride all the way up. Actually, as he's coming down, how's that look? Oh, there you go. You can see what it'll look like. Whew, crazy. RV55, just in case you forgot. One for the notebook. Right, what goes up must come down. Approaching the end of the icy plateau. Just carried on like that for a few kilometers, probably 10 kilometers of just flat, gently undulating, and then I saw a sign saying 9% decline. I thought, oh, here we go. We're going to descend down into the town of Lom, which apparently is meant to be a breathtaking view, so I've got the cameras recording for as long as they'll last. We'll power on together. Right, got to be careful down here because I don't want to overcook it. Obviously, there's no safety, there's no second chances. Oh, here we go. Okay, so this is descending down into Lom. Whoa, look at that waterfall up there. That is crazy. That is really crazy. Where does it go? Goes under the road. You can tell it's a big waterfall when spray's coming off, or at least it's falling at some pace. It's literally, as I said before, running down the rocks like a staircase. It must go under the snow and ice. Yeah, look at that. Just put my visor up so I can hear it all. Right, we're losing the snow a bit, aren't we? Rapidly descending, gone from 7 degrees to 9 degrees. See these poles on the side of the road? There's when you can't see the road for snow, so you know where the road is. Done good today though, haven't we? Been a fair old whack. Started out at Ringøy campsite, and we're going to end up in Lom, or I might push on to Geringa. Doing well though, doing well. Ah, this is nice. If I was a proper YouTuber, I would have filmed the bike getting stuck, wouldn't I? But I was a little bit too distracted at the time with my impending calamity. This is crazy though, look at this. Here we go, here we go. What's that vehicle? Looks like an old fire engine. Oh my god, somebody's converted it into a camper. I love those all-terrain campers. Like, looks like it could survive a nuclear blast and then the ice age that follows, and you'd be fine. And what they call bug-out vehicles, that's it. That's true dedication to the cause, that is, to have an old like fire engine converted, or rescue vehicle.
Oh, we've got a frozen lake. Everybody, look alert, we have a frozen lake. You know they start to melt closer to the land, so you'll eventually end up with a piece of ice, a massive piece of ice in the middle. That's where the ice is thickest, is in the middle. Little camera in the front, still clinging on to its last bit of battery. How long will it last? It's done 9 minutes. 9 minutes of 4K recording. It's good going. If I crash into this lake, I want to have it multiple camera angles. Spectacular, a slow motion effect. And not a soul in sight as well. That's the amazing thing about Norway. I'm just chuffed I came here. I will go to Scotland, that was my secondary option. But over the moon with this decision. I mean, look at it. And this is a Tuesday. It's not even as if this is sort of early on a Sunday morning. This is Tuesday. It's actually rush hour on a Tuesday. Whoa! That's the amazing thing about the rivers as well. It can go from being flat and placid to rapids in a ravine, then a lake, then rapids, and there's so many elevation changes with valleys in between. There must be glacial valleys that you get all manner of water, white water, flat water, calm water, trickling water. It's amazing to see, really. Another frozen lake. See, frozen in the middle. I actually do know what I'm talking about. Another viewpoint. RV55, the road that keeps delivering. Delivers like a postman after too much caffeine. Oh, there you go, backlit. Best kind of footage. Snowy mountains behind me and the sun behind me, lighting up the road ahead. Meant to rain the rest of the week, and get cold, so let's enjoy this while we've got it. Right, good evening everybody. So I've treated myself tonight to a Hytten, which is one of these little red cabins that you see all over the place. I said before, there's like a campsite every 5-10 kilometers here in Norway. These are pretty much present on every campsite, and I've just paid 400 krone, which is £29.50 to have this for the evening. So I've treated myself. So I'll go inside and I'll show you what it's like. Okay, so you don't get any washing facilities in the cabin, but you do have heaters, and I've got a little thingy down there, like a little hob. You see? Very, very basic though. Little hob, and you can dry your clothes. That's the advantage of having the cabin. So if you got wet last night in the rain, which always happens in Norway, then you can dry everything off. So I've put all my stuff, which got damp yesterday, under radiators. Also, if there was a group of you, you've actually got 4 beds in here. So you could end up paying £8 each, or even less than that, £7.50 each per night, if you would want to be in this close proximity to 4 of your other mates. But maybe you would. But even £29.50 just for me, I'm well happy. And yeah, it just saves the hassle of putting the tent up. I have a real good feeling with the sleep well tonight as well. Right, well, I'm going to enjoy my Hytten. Yeah, good advice. If you come to Norway, rent one of these because they're class.